quarterfinals. But we will follow Hikaru here in the first game up against a Chinese candidate master.
Yeah, let's have a look at this game. It starts out with a Queen's Gambit declined by Hikaru here. Very solid defense against the Queen's Gambit. His opponent here actually goes for something very aggressive. This is a known gambit, but Hikaru decides to decline the gambit. He plays very solidly instead by bringing out the bishop. And now we go into a position where white has a little bit more space with these two pawns in the middle. But black has some pretty active ideas for counterplay and some good squares for his pieces. For example, this square where the knight or bishop can come. This is what we see here. And now it's possible for white to either trade or keep developing pieces. He attacks the bishop here, so Hikaru has to think about that. So what we can potentially see in a position like this is that white ends up having, like, once we trade these bishops, this bishop can become a problem for white because it's on the same color as all the pawns. And this is a typical kind of situation where the bishop is not great, but as we can see, he's trying to bring it out here to make it more active, potentially attacking this knight. So Hikaru has to think about if that's something he has to avoid, because yeah, exactly. He does move that knight away, and without anything on this diagonal, it's not so clear if the bishop is actually good or not. But we'll see as the game develops. For now, it's just about getting the pieces out for both players. I expect pretty soon to see the rooks come into the game as well. This is a very nice move by Gehua, if that's how you pronounce it.
Gehua, yeah.
Yeah. The reason is it's blocking out this knight. So the knight could have been annoying potentially here, getting closer to white's king, but now it's just never going to happen with this pawn controlling both those squares. And the knight is not that great here, actually. And we can see on the bar as well that white is doing pretty well here, and the opening hasn't been too successful for Hikaru. The plan is very clear now. White can, after moving this knight away, start advancing the pawn here and create a kingside attack. So it's actually a pretty uncomfortable spot to be in.
Yeah,
Hikaru.
Look at that. Much better already for Gehua when he is a Chinese player, 31 years old, candidate master, with a FIDE rating of 2200, but on chess.com, well, his rating is 2700, and he plays a lot of Title Tuesdays. Last week, he scored 5.5 points. He played 9 events in the autumn split, and his best result was 7 points. That happened in Gameweek 7. Definitely a player capable with the white pieces to beat Hikaru.
I mean, you never know. We've seen Hikaru lose in round 1 and 2 before.
Yeah.
So it does happen, and he's playing very well here. Definitely better than any average 2200 rated player. So yeah, I would give him decent chances. He's playing pretty fast as well. Hikaru is a little bit up on the clock, but it's not much. And I would say still, white is... yeah, there isn't much risk in this position, I would say.
Slightly better now. It's all right. Hikaru, he seems to be getting into the mood. But Gehua Wen, he has some fans on social media. Do chat with us on YouTube, on Twitch, whether you're following on chess.com or the Take channels. We love getting your messages, questions, comments, and let us know who you're rooting for at all times. Gehua Wen has some fans.
Yeah, and now we see... something quite typical for when the good players are in not so great positions, that they slowly over time neutralize the opponent's advantage. And now we can see the bar going almost back to equal. But I do like Gehua's strategy here. He's trading off these pawns potentially. His pawn could maybe be a weakness later in the game, and he ends up having almost no weaknesses at this point. And once again, there's not much risk. Hikaru is the one who has to be a little bit careful here with the king, which is quite open. And this pawn could be a problem potentially later on. And we can see actually Gehua going for the attack now, threatening this pawn. That's something Hikaru has to think about. Oh, he goes for the counter attack. That is very interesting. So his plan now is to either give a check here. That's direct threat, but there's also all sorts of things to think about with the knight here threatening the pawn. The pawn is not able to take back because the king would be in danger. So that's one problem. The other one is potentially the knight jumping here, and those two pieces very close to white's king would be incredibly dangerous, and that's definitely what Hikaru's opponent is thinking about here.
Yeah, down to 1 minute 50 seconds. He has 1 minute less on the clock than Hikaru, the speed monster, Hikaru Nakamura. In Title Tuesday, players have 5 minutes each on the clock. There is no increment, meaning we often see red numbers on the clocks. We often see time trouble, scrambles, and we do see flagging. And we often see...
Oh, there's a blunder.
Oh!
Has he simply missed this move? I'm starting to wonder if that could be the point. There's also a check here, but that wouldn't be that good as far as I can see. The knight could block. Yeah, exactly. So Hikaru does take that pawn. But I don't expect this to be something that he missed, because he was thinking for quite a while, and it's something that a player of his strength would normally see. So now I'm... now it looks very good for Hikaru once again, also on the clock. This is going to be hard to come back from for Gehua.
He's struggling now with the white pieces against a legend in Title Tuesday. Hikaru Nakamura is getting off to a good start. And look at that, Jan Krzysztof Duda from Poland has already won after only 1 minute in his game.
Wow.
Incredible start for Jan Krzysztof Duda. We have some other big names playing today. Maxim Vachier-Lagrave is here. I saw Anish Giri playing for the second game week in a row. That's awesome. Bortnik is playing. We have Jose Martinez in the house as well. And he is currently playing with the white pieces. His game is balanced. But this one will be a Hikaru win.
Yeah, it will definitely be a Hikaru win. He can actually now go here and threaten checkmate if he wants to. There are so many good options. It's also worth noticing that this king, though it looks a bit exposed since it's far out in the open, it's actually quite well defended by these two pawns and the knight. The knight is usually a very good defender of the king because it's hard to give many checks against the knight. Also, the queen, the bishop are both far away from where the action is happening now, and we can see Hikaru actually bringing up his pawn here and gives another check. With this pawn, he not only does he threaten to keep moving up, but he can also potentially start bringing out his other knight, and there are just too many threats here for Gehua to try to figure out. Now we can see that pawn coming up. Hikaru takes this with a check. He's now up a knight, and he also has a very strong attack. And there should be a bunch of different ways to win here. He can give a check with the pawn, with the knight. Yeah, I'm expecting Hikaru to finish quite clinically here. He's probably just thinking about how exactly is he going to do it.
Mate in one now.
Yeah, so the king has to move to the side, and then the queen would go here and give a checkmate.
Look
so
at that.
It.
It's a win for Hikaru Nakamura. Starting with the black pieces in Title Tuesday, game week 2 of the winter split, and he takes the first point. I think I saw a smile on Gehua Wen's face. Of course, it's big when you get